Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome to the Great Pop Culture Debate Ranking. This time, we are looking at the best Masters of the Universe characters in honor of the film coming out in June 5th. I am Eric Rezsnyak, your host. I am with Bob Erlenback, one of the panelists here at the Great Pop Culture Debate. We are longtime He-Man and the Masters of the Universe fans. I have right here my lunchbox from 1984, 1985. I remember that Bob had the Castle Grayskull playset, and I will forever.
And Snake Mountain.
Everybody
And
has
I have
Snake Mountain.
Hordax Lair. I still have Snake Mountain and Hordax Lair at my parents' house. Somehow Castle Grayskull is missing. I hope it wasn't tossed by my parents. They don't toss anything, but they toss Castle Grayskull. Maybe. We'll find out when I have to clean the house out.
I blame Skeletor and his minions of doom. So we are going to be ranking all of the characters from the OG action figures, cartoon, the continuation into the Netflix Revelation series, which I consider to be the canon continued, which will
Sure.
also be appearing in the new film. We're going to go in alphabetical order. Battle Cat / Cringer, we're considering them one character, and I'm going to rank Battle Cat a B. For me, I love Cringer as the loyal sidekick to Adam. I love the comic relief he gives. I love Battle Cat as being a actual beast on the field of battle, but I don't think he has a lot of character growth. And if I'm looking at it from an action figure perspective, the Battle Cat action figure from the 1980s was literally a static hunk of plastic that you could put on armor pieces, and that was it. So he can't be an A for me for those reasons. Bob, where are you ranking Battle Cat / Cringer?
I'm good keeping him at a B. I don't know if I'm going to rank the action figure differently. I don't know if action figure comes into this for me an awful lot because they're all pretty janky when it comes to an action figure perspective.
You?
Oh, they
How
are.
dare you?
Oh.
No.
Anyway, I think he's a B. I would put him at B. I think that he's not integral to story per se, but he's integral to Adam. He's integral to He-Man. He needs to be there. He is the sidekick. He's how Adam gets around sometimes. So.
And let's also name this. He-Man actually had a multitude of different ways of getting around. He had his horse, he had his cool little like sky cars or whatever, but Battle Cat is the one everybody remembers, because what is cooler than going into battle on a giant green and yellow striped tiger? That is epic and iconically He-Man. We are united in B. Next, it's Beastman. Bob, where are you ranking Beastman on our scale?
I'm going to give Beastman a B as well. I think he's always there. He's always with Skeletor. He tries to overthrow Skeletor a few times as well. But I think, to me, Beastman is, when I think about kind of the core villains that I'm going to see surrounding Skeletor when I recall in my memory, he's always there. I think he's also a good comic relief because he's such a bumbling idiot. I'm going to keep him at a B.
You know, I initially was going to put him at a C, but you actually kind of convinced me because he is kind of critical to Skeletor's minions. He is always there. He's not like one of the third-rate ones.
Correct.
It's always him. It's Evil-Lyn. Sometimes it's Merman, although Merman is A, apparently not in the movie, and B, like really pretty useless.
Effectiveness as a villain, if we were grading him solely on that criteria, C, D, maybe E. We'll see, but
this kitten's got a whip. And one thing that I feel like they never talk about is he can control the beasts of the wild. And like, he never gets to do that. He's always Skeletor's punching bag, but he's always there. Also, shout out to his eye makeup game. It's really quite colorful and engaging. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
He
So
loves a good Persian eye.
He sure does. We are united in a B for Beast Man. Speaking of Skeletor's goons, it's Evil-Lyn. I'm giving Miss Evil-Lyn an A. She's my first A of this whole bracket. I think she's an excellent character. I think the design from the cartoon to the action figures, where she was weirdly very yellow, I don't understand why. But she's like a badass sorceress. She's got the incredible headdress, very Vegas, very showgirls. And the thing is, as we go on with the character in the different media, she's very present in the 1987 live action movie. She is awesome in Revelations. She's so good. And Alison Brie's playing her in this new movie, which is very exciting for me. She's got a great arc. She's like not trying to take down Skeletor. Like, she actually seems to actually genuinely love him and actually be like devoted to him, but she's also simultaneously way more competent than Skeletor ever is. So I'm giving her an A. Bob, where are you on this?
I'm new here to this whole ranking milieu, so to speak. Can I give her an S?
You can do
Or
it.
do
You
I have
can
to
do
reserve
it.
an S just for one person? Because
No,
you
you can
just
do it.
argued her as an S, but you're giving her an A. To me, like she's it. Like she's calculating, she's smart, she keeps Skeletor in line when it comes down to it. Like Skeletor tries to fuck her over so many times, and like she just keeps at it and keeps coming. And when she let her hair down in
Oh,
in the cartoons, the new reboot cartoons,
yeah.
oh my god, you are resplendent, my lady.
Glamour.
I'm gonna give her an S. I think she's great. Like
Forget Evil-Lyn.
He-Man, the whole series without Evil-Lyn is pointless
It's
to
true.
me.
She's less Evil-Lyn and more Weevil-Lyn in
Yes,
the
it's true.
reboots with those long, luxurious locks. All right, Bob's going S. I'm sticking with A. Next, it's Fisto. Bob, I'm going to give this to you first. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Well, I'm gonna give Fisto a B. I'm just gonna say this, folks. I'm pretty sure Eric's gonna give him an A. And I won't get into the reasons, but I know the reasons. I know the reasons. I'm gonna give him a B, possibly like a teetering on a C, but I'll give him the B because he is pretty iconic. Because this is where I maybe will grade action figure. Pretty cool action figure, and unique and different from some of the others, where a lot of the action figures were just cut and paste of each other. This one couldn't be because of the nature of the fist when it came to fisting and
Mm-hmm.
Fisto. So I'm gonna give him a B.
So, first of all, I am wearing a He-Man Pride shirt. Happy Pride if you're watching this in June. And Fisto is right here. He's my purple dude over here. So I am giving Fisto an A. He is not an S tier, but here's what I'm going to say about Fisto. He's the only character I believe in the original series with a beard. And even as a child watching this, I didn't know this term at the time, but now it fits I hope this doesn't awaken something in me, but it did. And so there is something about his design I find completely iconic. His character is actually super interesting. He starts out in the TV show, the original cartoon, as a bad guy who then betrays Skeletor and becomes a hero. In the various iterations, we're not talking about the new adventures of He-Man from the 90s or the reboot on Cartoon Network in the 2000s. But like in some of the different variations, he is a human who is born with just one massive fist. It's not a cybernetic arm. It's ridiculous. In some, he's possibly Teela's biological father. Like, it's fascinating, the lore around this character. He's also just a badass. Like, that design is incredible. And he is and will forever be a gay icon. I had the Fisto action figure. Its legs split apart, which is ironic. But I did have him for many, many years. I'm going to give him an A. I'm going to leave it at that. Bob, you're sticking with your B?
I'm gonna stick with my B, but you brought up a point. I think it's the perfect month, June, Pride Month, for a He-Man movie to be releasing in theaters. So
Absolutely, 100%. Well done, marketing team. Next, we're covering the characters in the movie. I want to make this clear. In the 2026 movie, somehow Goatman is in this movie. Goatman. I'm giving Goatman a D, and I'm going to tell you why. Goatman didn't appear in the animated series. He's a very minor character from the original cartoon that did appear in the comic books from Marvel at the time. But like, this is not a character that should have ended up in the movie compared to like many of the other ones. Design's not bad, but like Goatman, D. Bob?
I would give him a D as well. This is where you will insert the Mariah Carey, I don't know her
Yes,
meme, because that's
I will do
exactly
that.
what this is. Because you're like, Goat Man? Yeah, no,
Goatman.
D.
Not the goat. He-Man / Prince Adam. I'm considering them the same character. Bob Erlenback, where are you ranking He-Man himself?
He-Man, not Adam.
Oh, are
He-Man.
we looking at them separately?
We don't have to. No, it's tough. I can only think of them as one thing because that's the complexity of the character.
Sure.
That is the character. And he's A for me, for sure. Like I don't think I get him quite S tier because he's not a villain. He is the good guy, and the villains are so much cooler
So much cooler.
in
They
this
always have
show.
been.
So I'm going to give him an A.
I agree. I'm also giving him an A. I'm not giving him an S tier. Here's the funny thing. When you go back and watch the original animated series, and by the way, I did rewatch the entire thing during the pandemic, it's not great, folks. Let me just be very candid about that. It's kind of a mess. The She-Ra cartoon, the one from the 80s, is actually better. But He-Man never once uses his sword to fight his enemies. Never once.
Oh,
It wasn't allowed by the rules at the
yep,
time. He's kind of an idiot and his powers are all over the place. I get that he's just supposed to be the big muscle dude who can do whatever he needs to do at the time to get it done. That's fine. It's just not terribly interesting. Prince Adam is actually more interesting to me than He-Man is.
sure.
in the same way that Clark Kent.
Secrets.
Yeah, the way
They're
Clark
kept in
Kent
his hair. That's
his
why his
long,
hair is so big.
so beautiful, that page boy haircut, yes. I will say design-wise, iconic, you cannot go wrong, changed nothing. They got rid of the furry bikini shorts and turned it into a loincloth for this. I'm a little ambivalent on it, but he's an A, he's not an S, I'm sorry. And for all the people crying in the Revelation
It
show about him dying was the most interesting thing that happened to He-Man, like, literally in the entire canon of the show.
yeah, it's like so many other properties. The main character is not your character. Harry Potter's not the character for me, right?
Yep,
Like it's just not how it works. Like he's just what it revolves around. And so yes, he's important, but like I don't that's where I keep him.
A,
I'm acting like A
exactly.
is a bad score. It's a great score.
Yeah,
But
indeed. Karg, here is one, again, in the movie, for some odd reason. The only time Karg has been seen prior to this was in the live action film. He wasn't even in Revelation, I don't believe. I don't know why they included Karg when there are a million other great villains that they can be working with, but he's here. He's a D. He looks like Critters. Remember Critters from the
mhm.
1980s? It's like, what if Critters grew up? It's Karg. Bob, where are you ranking Karg?
I think on impulse I want to put him at D.
Yeah.
However, I'm not because he has a beautiful blowout.
It,
And I'm going to give him a
E.
C for that.
Okay.
The hair, strong hair,
Strong.
strong hair.
It's very Tina Turner, very we don't
Oh,
need
it's
another
so
hero.
Tina Turner. It
It
is so
really
Tina.
is.
Proud Mary, proud Karg.
You
Keep on
know what?
burning.
All right, I'm sticking with my D. Bob's going with C. Next up, it is Man-at-Arms, aka Duncan in this film. I don't know why we needed to change the name, but we did. Bob, where are you going with Man-at-Arms?
Well, Duncan is his name
I know,
in the
but
animated show as well, but they don't. I guess they're not going to refer to him as Man at Arms at all in the movie.
when I look at the list of characters, it's Duncan.
Yeah, I give him a B. I don't quite put him at the A. I find him so boring as a character. I get that he has some complications, but the other characters surrounding him are so much more interesting. So I'm going to keep him at a B.
You don't F with Man-at-Arms is what I'm here.
No, it's true.
Okay. I initially was going to put him as an A, but I actually agree with you. I think B is correct here. I will say excellent mustache. We have to
Mhm,
give credit for that.
mhm.
He is an extremely useful character with all of his technology. He saves or like rebuilds numerous characters in the canon. He is Teela's adoptive father. He's like the best friend kind of to He-Man, so he's important,
Yeah.
but he's boring, and I think that that's fair. So
And he looks boring from the trailer, right? You brought up the facial hair again, too, right? The beard, going back to the beard on Fisto, I think maybe Moss Man could also be constituting as having a beard, but
Masked Man not in the film, so we won't be talking about him.
yeah,
But that's
we'll
an
get there.
icon. That's an icon. All right, another interesting inclusion in the film, Mekanek. I'm giving Mekanek a C. Fascinating design for this character. I'm thinking both the original 80s and the action figure. The action figure was actually pretty cool because you could ratchet up the neck with, I believe, was it a thing on the back or did you do his
Yeah,
arm?
I believe there's just a slider. I
Okay.
can't remember because there's also the guy whose eyes pop out too that
Yes.
has a slider on the back.
Yep.
I can't remember.
Let's say this about Mekanek. In terms of his powers, he can see very high. That's his power. Not super useful, although it is tied to his origin, because he was looking for his child, and he got damaged in a storm. And then Man-at-Arms gave him a bionic neck, as I guess one does. But for me, it's a
Again, the
C.
most interesting thing Man at Arms ever did.
Give this man a giant giraffe neck. Cool. Bob, where's Mekanek for you?
I give him a B. I think he's got an incredibly cool design. Again, I'm not really arguing action figure, but the action figure, the animation, everything about Mekanek is really cool. And I thought it was really cool that he was included because he could easily just be left out of it because he's not a core. Like there's core characters that didn't even make it into this. We mentioned one a moment ago, and we'll get back to that. But I just think he's super cool and super interesting from a visual perspective that differentiates him and diversifies him from, again, the cut and paste of so many of these characters. So I like him. I'm going to give him a B.
Speaking of kind of tertiary characters, here's Ram Man, ladies and gentlemen. Bob, where did you rank Ram Man?
A. Ram Man is an A for me because at the end of every He-Man episode, there was like the little PSA portion, and the PSA where it was like, don't ram your head into things was the PSA because, it was him and He-Man's like, oh, Ram Man, what are you doing? You shouldn't really be ramming your heads into things. Kids, Ram Man's cool, but don't ram your head into things. And it ended with, because it's dumb. That's how the PSA ended. Ram Man is an A all the way. All the way. If he had been, the fact that he's not like a super core character kept him out of S tier for me, but A.
It's a C for me, dog. Ram Man. So here's a fun fact about Ram Man. It canonically,
C.
yes, canonically, he's introduced as basically the Three Billy Goats gruff, where if anyone comes onto his property, he attacks them because he thinks that's literally
With his
Ram
head, because
Man's
he
or
rams.
yes, right, correct. So that is what his like dumb origin, first of all. Secondly, in multiple different kind of iterations of him, sometimes his head is either like really large or has like a metal plate in it, and in some he's like a dwarf. Very weird, inconsistent character. But the most important thing is he's really dumb. He's very stupid. And like, I was just like, ugh, enough. I
Because
can't.
he rams his head into stuff.
I
It's
get it.
character driven.
I
The
get it.
stupidity is character driven based on his design. The action figure, he was like that, a little springy up and down action figure.
Let's
Very
talk about
cool.
the action figure. The action figure was a hunk of plastic that you pushed down and it would go poing, but it didn't do anything else. It was like non-articulated. It was
It
terrible.
rammed things. It was up to you and your imagination.
I can think of many imaginative things I can do with Ram Man now, but that Ram Man is a D for me. So we're moving on. Roboto. This is an interesting character. Roboto is actually someone who is, I think, blossomed over the various iterations. The original Roboto action figure, super cool. It was see-through. You could see the little gears moving. At the time, it was kind of revolutionary. He's only in the cartoon very briefly. He's a alien from the planet Robotica. They must have spent tens of seconds coming up with this storyline. He crash lands on Eternia. Man-at-Arms fixes him. There's Man-at-Arms again. But in the subsequent iterations of the character, they often have now turned him multiple times into like almost like soul type character, like they did in Revelations, Justin Long is the voice. And Kristen Wiig is voicing Roboto in the 2026
Oh, that's cool.
movie.
I didn't know that.
And Roboto was a woman. So it's really interesting. Like there's a lot of variation
Roboto can
here.
be whatever.
Roboto, Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto,
Mr. Roboto.
or Mrs. Roboto, as we now are looking at in 2026. So I think Roboto is super interesting. I'm giving Roboto a C. Bob, where are you?
I would give him a D or a C if we hadn't had the really great story arc from the Revelation and Revolution series. It really made me connect with him differently than I'm going to be honest, I couldn't remember a lot of him from the original series. I hadn't done a rewatch in a really long time. Like he hadn't shown up all that much, but they took a fairly minor character and made him very interesting. And I think with He-Man, it's not just swords and sorcery. There is the technology element to He-Man, which makes this property so unique and special, is that it's all of it. It's science fiction and fantasy all together and wrapped up into one thing. And he fits into that mold, and he's part of that whole lore of the show. And I just love that storyline where he dies. So
He died.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
So what's your ranking?
I gave him a B.
You know what? I'm giving him a B too. F it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Even
That's
as I was
because I'm so
explaining
convincing.
Yeah, well,
I'm
also
very generous this evening, folks.
We all are. But like, even as I'm talking about it, I was like, actually, this is way more interesting. Why did I rank him a C? So, all right. Skeletor. Bob, little guy you might have heard of. Skeletor.
What a boob. He is S tier all the way. Like, if there was an S plus where I could put Evil-Lyn, I'll put her there, but he is S tier for sure. Where would we be without Skeletor? Where would we be without him? He's always so maniacal and calculating and trying to figure out his next move, and he can never get a step ahead. And it is always a catastrophic failure, and that is what makes him so amazing. Is just the level and intensity at which he goes at these things and then just completely falls flat on his face. He is a boob. That is the word to describe him. He loves using that word to describe his henchmen. You boob. Like, he says it all the time. But anyway, he is himself the boob. Every confession is, or every, what is the word?
Accusation
every accusation is an admission.
Yep.
He knows he's a boob.
Yep. He's a boob man. In my mind, S tier means Skeletor tier. That's where I'm ranking him.
Okay.
The Skeletor tier. He is, I think, in the pantheon of cartoon villains, especially from the 1980s. If he's not right up there, he's real close.
He's iconic. He would be on the Mount Rushmore of 80s cartoon villains. 100%.
Absolutely. And I think, like, iconic is the thing because Skeletor has moved past this property and has become a pop culture icon. He
Are you going to
really
bring up
has.
Unemployed
I'm
Skeletor?
going to bring up Unemployed Skeletor, which is an amazing
100%.
YouTube, hilarious. Jan Michael
When he
Vincent
brings up Jan Michael Vincent, oh, I just love him.
hysterical. Like he's a meme superstar now everywhere on social media. All these stupid and like they take it and they run with it, but that's what Skeletor would want them to do. Let's talk about the
Because
design.
he's a poop.
This man has no face, but look at that body. He's jacked. He's committed to his
Mhm.
fitness, and he doesn't have a face. Let's talk about the nail, the manicure game. It's tens across the board. His staff is absolutely fierce. He's a hilarious villain. He is genuinely threatening. Like as a kid, Skeletor was scary, but he's also an idiot, and so I can still love him. So there's no question. Skeletor S tier for me. S tier for Bob.
The 87 movie as well.
Frank
Like,
Langella.
I mean, as problematic as he was before he passed, right? He was incredible in that role. He ate it up, chewed every bit of very small amount of scenery that they had. He
Yep.
chewed it all up. He was great, and he had one of the very first like post-credit scenes in all of cinema history. He was like at the infancy of that trend. So,
Yep.
Skeletor.
No, icon, legend. He is the moment, Skeletor. I'll just put this out there, chagrined about who's playing him in the 2026 movie, but at least it doesn't look like him and it doesn't sound like him. So
And they
I'm just
don't
gonna
seem to
pretend.
talk an awful lot about him
Nope.
either.
So I'm just going to pretend Skeletor is being played by Skeletor. That's how I'm
AI.
approaching this. AI.
AI
Oh, no,
Skeletor.
all right, next it is Spikor. Again, Spikor being included here as opposed to any one of the other, like Merman is not here. Let me look at the Clawful is not here. Faker is not here. There's so many other like cool villains. Spikor? I don't know. Design wise, cool design. Really interesting. The action figure had a trident that came out of his hand that was pretty cool. But I'm going to the actual He-Man wiki here. He is described as, quote, the most stupid and useless of all of Skeletor's henchmen, and I feel like that needs to be discussed. So for me, he's a D. Bob, where's Spikor for you?
He's a D. He's a D. That's where that's all I have to say. He's a D. I don't remember Spikor.
Like, Stinkor was amazing.
Oh my god, where's Stinkor?
Stinkor? He was a skunk and
I had Stinkor. I had the
him
figure.
too.
He
The action
smelled.
figure smelled. Like,
Mhm.
where's Stinkor? Anyway, Spikor's a D. The Sorceress. Bob, where are you putting her?
Boring. Boring. D. D.
What? Really?
Yeah, D. I get it. I get why she's important, but like I don't fine, I'll give her a C. You guilted me into it. I'll give her a C. Boring. Snoozeville.
I don't want to guilt you in anything. I'm giving her an A. I think the
Come for
Sorceress.
me in the comments. It's fine. That's a personal preference. I'm just like, who is this? We don't need her.
I love her. I love the lore behind her. I love her design.
true,
I
I
think
get
that
it.
design is fierce. She is incredibly powerful when she's in Castle Grayskull, but the minute she sets foot out of it, she's cooked. Like that's what's fascinating. She's like this uber powerful being, but literally only in her like domicile. Anywhere outside of that, she's screwed. I find that such an interesting character element.
I'll put her up to B because of Christina Pickles. Why not?
She's also Teela's mom, so get into
She's
that.
Teela's mom. Fine. You talked me up to a B.
I'll take the B. But I'll also say, of all the characters from this franchise, she actually has the most interesting backstory, even in the cartoon. Like the Sorceress lore episodes are kind of the coolest. So a Sorceress is an A for me and a B from Bob. Next, speaking of Teela, Bob, where are you ranking Teela?
I would give Teela probably the A in this category. She's always there. She's always with He-Man. She's got a really cool backstory because she is the daughter of the Sorceress. She has the adoptive father through Man-at-Arms. She didn't know that for so long, and there's the great episodes and the great arc that where she discovered that. It was a really good story for her in the original series. And I think she's kind of the heart of the series. I don't know that He-Man and Adam are really the heart as much as she is really the one that is kind of moving through life and learning and growing and becoming a new or different character, which we see in Revelation and Revolution. Shout out to Sarah Michelle Gellar. And then I think the second series, she was played by the girl who played Supergirl.
Melissa
I can't remember.
Benoist, yes.
Yes, that's right. But SMG was really great in the reboot with her. So I'm going to give her an A.
I'm also giving Teela an A. Teela is, I think, the most polarizing character in the fandom, and it does not speak highly of the fandom that is the case. In the original series, she was competent. Teela held her own in battles. She's the
Yep.
captain of
Sorry, I
of
meant
the
to say
Royal
that too.
Guard. Yeah, no, like she's genuinely a kick-ass woman. In the 80s, that was not exactly a common thing. Somehow, along the way, people got offended that Teela was treated as basically an equal to Adam slash He-Man. And this became a real issue in Revelation slash Revolution when the focus really shifted to her instead of
Hmm.
He-Man because he
Those were her
dies.
series.
That was her series.
And Evil-Lyn's, if you want to be honest.
Yep, it was, women, not girls, right?
Yep.
And people lost it, and the fandom was very unhappy with those shows. But honestly, those were the most interesting story arcs, and I actually loved watching what they did with Teela and with Evil-Lyn in them.
Yeah.
And I think it made He-Man and Man-at-Arms far more interesting watching them interact with these women that were changing. I get why the fandom freaked out about it. I would remind the fandom that the show is actually not called He-Man. It's called Masters of the Universe. So it really is about all of them, not just him. But I think Teela is fascinating. I think she actually is among the most cool characters in the show. The one issue I have with Teela is why did we never get her in the badass outfit she wears in her action figure where it's the snake and everything else? That is so cool.
It's
And
true.
instead, she's just kind of bland. So, A for both of us. Okay, Trapjaw, Bob. Where are you putting him?
I'm sorry, he's an A with Beastman. He is, again, he's the one that's always there. It's really him and Beastman always at each other's throats. Sometimes Merman's there, sometimes Tri-Klops is there, right? But it's those two that are, those in my brain. It's like indelible. It's a mark that they're always there. And he's so cool. He has a unique and different design from a character aesthetic. He's got the trap jaw that can just bite things, but then also has an arm that's like a gun. So he's not just trap jaw, he's arm gun, arm gun and trap jaw. I think he's more kind of malicious. I think he's more angry as a character. I think he's more dangerous and kind of a wild card as a character that you kind of don't know what's going on in his brain. He's a little loco. Right. So I think he's pretty cool in that regard, and he could kind of snap at any second with Skeletor, literally, because he's Trapjaw. He'll snap.
Mm-hmm.
So
A for
yeah,
you.
I'm gonna give him an A. Honestly,
So for
I'm so
me,
glad he's in the movie. I wasn't sure if he would be. Sorry, go ahead.
no, yeah, I think he's really cool. For me, the A tier, you have to have an interesting story arc, and I don't think Trapjaw
Okay.
does. He has a very cool look, and he is a really interesting character in terms of like he is a wild card. He is menacing. He's genuinely scary. Of
Hmm.
all of his
That's the
henchmen,
word
he's
I
one
was
of the
looking
scariest
for.
one. Yeah, from an action figure perspective, I don't think people realize this now, but Trapjaw had a little loop on his head, and you could put a thing of thread through his loop, and you could like slide him down the line. It was actually really cool. He was an actual action figure, and you could swap out his arms for different weapons and stuff. Great design, super scary. This doesn't have a lot of an arc, so that's why I'm giving him a B, but I'm really glad he's in the movie because he's a cool character and deserves more. Finally, in the movie, Tri-Klops. I give Tri-Klops a C, not just because he sees things and that's his powers, but he's just not super interesting. They tried to do a little bit with him in Revelation and Revolution, where like they were making him part of like a techno cult at the end, which I thought was kind of interesting. But like he's got this visor that has different eyes, and like I guess that's cool. I did think that the outfit was actually pretty hot. It's like this weird kind of quasi harness. Like I don't know why I found him very like alluring to look at, but he's not. I did. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be very honest. He's just to me. He's always going to be a C-lister. Bob, where are you?
I'm gonna give him a B or even an A.
Wow.
Maybe I'll give him the B in this, just kind of in our conversation, kind of shifting my mindset a little bit, because I was thinking about giving him an A because I do think that he has interesting stories, and Triclops is in the middle. It's like playing Survivor. You have to use the folks in the middle to get to what you need, and sometimes he's there to fight a common goal with Skeletor, but his goal is not Skeletor's goal,
Mm.
right? And I think the same goes for he can be useful and helpful and has been to the other side. And I pick up some of that from the comics as well in reading the comic series, is that he's kind of this weird middle ground character, which we see in Revelation Revolution, because he is kind of in this middle ground doing his own thing with this really cool story, where he was part of this techno cult. So I think he's very interesting in that regard because I don't know that he's truly aligned with any given side except his own. I just don't think that he has the resources to do so on his own, which may be what came into play with that techno cult, etc. in the more recent series. That's just me for him. I think he's a lot cooler than you maybe give him credit for. That's not me trying to knock you in any way, but I would give him a B or an A. B probably.
Tri-Klops in the gig economy. That's what it
Yeah.
is. So those are the characters that are in the movie. Bob, I know you have some very intense thoughts about characters that are not being included in the movie. I do want to make the point we're only looking at the He-Man characters. We're not considering She-Ra, so no She-Ra, no Hordak, none of that stuff. But from He-Man characters, from what we know now, we're recording this before the movie releases, there are several glaring omissions. Bob, what were some of yours?
I think Cyclone was one. He's a pretty cool character because he's like a cyclone that spins. He's got a yellow helmet with these red Saturn rings around it. This really cool thing on his chest that's like a
Doppler radar?
Yeah, it's like a Doppler type thing, but it was the shifty images. I can't think of what it's called right now. The pictures that you shift them.
Oh,
and
yeah. Lenticular.
Lenticular, yes. He had the lenticular chest insert. I'm sad that Orko's not in the picture. Like, he wasn't in the 1987 for obvious reasons, budget. But I thought for sure maybe they'd bring him in this time. We have the technology, so it seems wrong not to include him, but I haven't seen the movie yet. So we'll have to see what happens there. Mossman is a very personal favorite of mine. I had the figure. I loved the figure because it was mossy. It smelled like pine. I was devastated in Revelation when they killed him outright from the very beginning, but he died doing what he loved, defending his people.
That's right, he did.
The world.
He did.
So Mossman.
The Lorax. Yeah, the Lorax of Eternia.
So,
great pick.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I think you might be bringing this one up too, but Stratos, right? As you know, if you're a homosexual person out there, there's an eagle in every town, a club or a bar, and Stratos would be the logo. Stratos would absolutely be the mascot of that if they'd let him.
Furry, muscular man wearing a harness,
great glasses,
very cool shades,
glasses. Yeah.
He really is the eagle personified. Yeah, I was going to bring up Stratos. I was going to bring up Many Faces, which was a cool character.
It's Tri-Klops, but faces.
And like, he had different personalities, and he was an actor who somehow got this thing. I actually loved Many Faces, and it was a great figure. I do think it's sad that Merman's not there. Merman is, to me, one of the 100%. Classic villains. And then this one is a personal. I had Clawful, the action figure, as a kid. He's the crab dude with the one giant claw and then the smaller claw. Completely weird, but I always loved him. And like, you're going to put in Spikor and other ones, but you're going to leave out Clawful. How dare you? Also, Buzz-Off, the bee guy.
Yep, I have that figure.
Love Buzz-Off. Yep. The final one, Zodak. Zodak is a bizarre character that's really cool, very mysterious. He's not on really like either side, but like, I feel like you got to keep stuff in the back for the sequel. So here's hoping the movie does well enough that we can do some stuff down the road with some of these other characters. But that's it. I think it's very interesting that Skeletor is our mutually agreed S tier character, and then Evil-Lyn got one S, and I'm giving her an A. Does that seem right to you, Bob?
I think it's right. I think she's an S tier. I think that she's right up there with him. Like, he shouldn't be there alone.
Well, now it's your turn. We want to hear your thoughts on what your favorite characters from Masters of the Universe are and how you would rank them. So go ahead and drop a comment right here on this video. And while you're doing that, make sure you find the like and subscribe button to our channel, because we're going to be doing more of these rankings coming up. While you're at it, please check out our podcast, Great Pop Culture Debate. We have over 200 episodes in which we go through and do knockout-style brackets on various topics. We have not done Masters of the Universe. Maybe we will in the future, but we've done a ton of other topics. We've done best 80s cartoon. We've done best fantasy film. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. Go check it out. With that being said, we hope you enjoy Masters of the Universe. We're going to be seeing it this weekend. We hope to see you there. We hope you have the power. And remember, everyone is entitled to their wrong opinions.